have all time zones on here right now, and we'll start in about 30 seconds. Housekeeping. All of these calls are converted to audio podcasts, and you can get those podcasts anywhere you want them after. I don't know how long it usually takes Josh to do it, but I'm sure in a couple of days you can get your hands on it either on YouTube or the Big Joel Show or wherever you listen to your podcast. We do put it up everywhere. I can see people are still coming on, so we'll wait another couple of seconds here, but I do want to be respectful of Kristen's time. So we will start here in a second. I think Laz is eating outside somewhere, doing something that she probably will be making all of us jealous. Exactly. Okay, so let's get going. We're on the Big Joel community call. So interesting. I think sort of every single day. Those of you that know me well know I'm a very blessed guy. I work with some of the best loan officers in the country, one-on-one and in groups. Josh, sorry about that. And in groups, I also happen to work with some of the best real estate agents in the market. And I am with agents and in front of agents every week somewhere in the country. So I do have a pretty good pulse on what's going on. And based on the loan officers I'm working with one-on-one and the agents I'm talking to, inventory is slowly coming on the market. And a lot of the agents are very excited about what I call the post-Easter Bunny bounce, meaning usually, we'll call it the spring market, typically starts right after Easter. And I'm hearing a lot of the agents actually saying to me specifically, hey, I've got stuff that's going on. But we're still in one of those markets where, I was just talking about this with some friends. Loan officers are dropping like flies, which I think is awesome. Let them get out of the way for the rest of you. And real estate agents are dropping like flies as well. And this is not a market where if you're not a pro real estate agent really working, you've got a big problem in this market. You've got to be working and know what you're doing. I was sitting at a lunch and one agent said, oh, I'm putting 3 listings on. And as soon as she said it, everyone stopped eating and started asking questions. And I think all those listings had multiple offers on them in about 3 seconds at lunch, and there was only another 2 or 3 agents sitting there. So, if you're a consumer and you're working with an agent that's not a full-on, full-time agent, you're probably hurting yourself. Because the properties are moving so fast. If they're a nice property, they're moving at 100 miles an hour. But again, the theme right now is grind, is work hard. This is a normal market. The whole layup thing, the whole sit around and do nothing and just wait for it to come to you. That's not happening right now, and that's why I'm so excited about my guest today, Kristen Ambos from. We just talked about it, Appleton. What's the area? Make it right so I do it right.
Oh, Green Bay, Fox Valley.
Green Bay, Fox Valley, Wisconsin. Kristen is awesome. She is a unit banger. Those of you that know me know I'm always all about the units. I don't really care about the volume. That's great if your average loan amount's $1 million. But I want to talk to the person closing 25 units, and I don't care what your average loan amount is or closing 25 purchase units, because that means you have 25 very happy clients that you can work with again or can refer you business. So Kristen is with Guaranteed Rate. We will put her contact info in the chat at the end of the call. Those of you new to the call know we typically do not look at the chat here. If you put something in there, Josh, someone that works with me, will hopefully grab it if we have time for it. If you really, really, really want to talk, we got a fair amount of people on here right now. You can wave at me if your Zoom is on. So Kristen, yes. How long have you been in the mortgage business? Tell everyone.
21 years.
21 years. So a baby lifer. I love it. I won't say how long. I've only been in the business like 4 years. So you got me by 17, just a couple more. And Kristen, you've always done business in the area you're in, right? You've saturated that area. What's the average sale price where you are, just to give everyone a feel?
Sale price is like right around 300. Average loan size is about 230.
About 230. Okay, excellent, excellent. And so, Kristen, tell me, first of all, give everyone a little snapshot. I know we got lucky and we're actually physically together a couple weeks ago in Chicago for a dinner. But tell everyone likes to hear this, because one of the common things I hear, Kristen, is loan officers are out with agents doing, the Joel activities, and the agents are just, wah, I need an ambulance, call me an ambulance. And so they're doing a lot of counseling, which is okay, because it's tough agenting right now, being a real estate agent. What are the agents in your market saying? Are they positive on what's going on? Are they bullish? Is it a mixed bag? Because I know you're constantly talking to people.
Yes. So thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it. What an honor to get to chat with you live here. I would say in our area specifically, it's still a mixed bag. There's some people who are, either knocking it out of park, or there's others that aren't, that, it's just a matter of perspective, really. And I don't know that will surprise you wholeheartedly, because again, we've talked about how just a small percentage of people do the majority of the work. So
yeah. So the counseling is on the downward slide, though. And now, is it fair to say that 50% of your B2Bs are uplifting and positive, and the agents are excited?
Oh, totally. Yep. Absolutely. I've not been one to complain about the market, though. I'm not one that's going to be a Debbie Downer, or, it's all about mindset, right? And if we have the mindset going into it, and everyone we talk to as a downer, they don't want to work with us. So I've always stayed positive in it. And there's always a silver lining in any market. And I do think that people are willing to listen to me, because I'm one of the ones that have literally been through, done the work, and lived through the 2008 and 10 era. So I think that experience and knowing the difference between the two, and actually working through and living the difference, is kind of what sets me apart right now from others.
Yeah. And so I hope you all heard that message. You've heard it a lot from people I've had on here. Kristen went with Debbie Downer, which is an old school one. That's a great one. But our job is to be a beacon of positivity, period, all day, every day, about everything. Kristen, one of the big things that brokers tell me across the country, real estate brokers, like the broker of record, so it would be either the manager or the owner of, the KW, whatever it is, they're telling me that one of their biggest challenges is that their agents are not experienced enough to overcome objections from potential clients, and they think they're losing deals very quickly because the agents are not adept enough to get these people to their lender partner at 100 miles an hour. And I've been sort of screaming and yelling and making noise for over a year at loan officers that, hey, man, if you don't know how to do stuff, go find someone and have them teach you. Because if you can't qualify on a napkin with a pen and a calculator, you're going to have a problem in this kind of market, because you really got to talk to people. Exactly. You really have to talk to people. Yeah. And you really have to know what you're doing. And when someone has a 3% mortgage on their house, you have to know the numbers to explain to them why it's better to pay off their consumer debt and their high car loan and move and have a new mortgage at a new rate, and your monthly payments still drop $1,000 a month. Tell me, are you working like overtime right now, as far as, talking to the clients longer? I know you're probably writing tons of letters, but how long are you spending, do you think, with each client up front now? I'm sure it's gone up, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would say somewhere, between 30 minutes and an hour. Now there's some that have been through the process enough and understand and are willing to understand that, the market, the shift is what it is. But those that don't understand it, I'm really making sure that I talk to them, that we meet with them, so that we can truly explain and educate them why it's different, why it's still a good time to buy, and all of that. So yeah, it's gone up quite considerably, but I think it's the best way to get it done.
And I want everyone to hear that. And by the way, those of you that have ever been on one of these calls with me, there's no setup or rehearsal for this. But I hope you heard that loud and clear. You shouldn't be complaining about having to spend more time up front. It makes you gooier with the client. It sticks them to you better. through the whole process. But the reality of it is this is how those of you that have been around a long time, got to get one Ed Bren joke in there, Ed Bren, who's been around a long time like me, knows this is what we did at the beginning. There was no throw them in some automated app and wait for them to halfway fill it out. We actually spent time with them. And if you were really good at what you did, you could one and done it, meaning you could spend all that time up front and be done because you actually spent the time, which meant we were working with people less time than a lot of you all are. But in this market, I knew Kristen was going to say that. This is normal, everyone. You should not be walking around all upset that you're having to spend more time talking to people. This is actually your job and why you get paid the amount you get paid. Yes. Kristen, tell me, what are the main objections right now? Is it really all interest rate? Is it can't find another house? What are you hearing in your market when you get on the phone with somebody?
It's truly not about interest rate at all anymore. It's about how do they make themselves the strongest borrower in a multiple offer situation if they don't necessarily have 20% down or can't offer cash or, can't, want the appraisal contingency and things like that. So we're overcoming objections that way. And we're finding huge success with it. So, pre-approving upfront, but not only pre-approving, fully underwriting every borrower that allow us to underwrite them upfront, and offering that. So they're going in with a loan commitment. And then I know JP was on a few weeks ago, but we have implemented the same day mortgage, which for me, the speed of being able to close fast is overcoming the agent objections that I've had in the last couple of weeks. This weekend alone, I had a real estate agent call me and he's like, okay, we got 2 weeks. Can you get it done? I'm like, let's do it. And that's what won the offer. It had nothing to do with the rate. It was about winning the house on speed, but accuracy is obviously important as well. So that's why we try to do as much as we can up front.
And again, those of you that know me know that that's the language of love for me as far as, no conditions. And I have to tell you, if you're in a scenario where you're having to battle back against credit unions or lenders with predatory pricing, speed kills. I mean, there's sometimes when you just can't, and I get it. And I'm not unrealistic, but many times that 10-day close can really win it every single time because maybe the person with the predatory rate literally cannot close that fast. And then something else Kristen said, as far as getting them pre-approved, not just pre-approved, these people are fully docked. Kristen, tell them about, and I know you've been through a crush group, and I know you actually paid attention through a crush group. Tell me what you and your team, when you're docking a file, when you're doing that needs list, talk to everyone about that a little bit. Tell them how hardcore you are up front about that stuff.
So I, in the very first conversation I have with them, I let them know how important it is to do all this up front. Because a lot of people just want to wait till they find the house, which is the wrong way to do it in this market. So I have that conversation with them up front. I let them know that if they're working with us and my realtors, that not my realtors, but the realtors in my area are fully aware that if they have a pre-approval from us, it's legit. It's going to the closing table because I fully dock it up front. But then they're even more excited when we offer the commitment letter, which means I want all pay stubs, I want all W-2s, tax returns, whatever we need to get that to get that file done. So that when they make an offer and they call me and say, what do I need for a financing contingency? Without a doubt, I can say 7 days. Even with an appraisal. And that's really what's, I think, important for the clients to know too. And then reiterating with them that if they can have a commitment letter in front of a seller and we have some of our borrowers already locked in, even though they're still shopping. So now they have a commitment letter. They're also locked in and we can close them in 10 days. It's a no brainer. And it's what's keeping, a couple of years ago, it was easy to say cash, 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 because everybody's investments were making a ton of money. So it was easy to pull the cash out. That's changed right now. People aren't just dipping into their investments because they're typically at a loss and they need it to recover. So they are leaning towards financing more. And so you have to be prepared to work around that. And that's where, the speed worked in. And I learned that from you, especially Joel, with getting everything, docked and locked up front.
Yeah. And those of you, by the way, you don't have to work at guaranteed rate or any company that has the pre-commitment program. You don't. I mean,
yeah,
I managed to close thousands and thousands of loans without ever having that because, I mean, I had fully doc files in front of me and I know how to underwrite a loan. I mean, obviously, if there's fraud, you're going to get caught. Everyone gets caught on fraud. But besides fraud, I mean, you should know whether it's going or not.
yeah.
And the bottom line is the only way for you to know if it's going is if it's completely docked. You can't guess just because someone, you know, works at IBM or whatever for 20 years and they're putting 20% down that, you know, that they're good to go. You can get nailed on a bank statement in 10 seconds on that. If you haven't really docked the file and actually, wait, keyword, actually looked at the docs. So you don't need, you know, what a lot of you all have those programs actually available to you. I'm looking at who's on this call right now. A lot of you all have that at your company, but you don't even need it. So don't get caught up if you're listening right now and say, oh, I don't have that. She does, you know, oh, you know, no. Kristen could do this without having that because the file is completely docked. Kristen, tell me, as far as being in front of agents. So agents right now, Kristen, I'm being told, I'm with them every week.
Yeah.
They're getting between 25 and 30 inbound phone calls with desperate loan officers reading a script, or even worse, and I'm sorry if I offend any of you on this call, having a biz dev person call them to set up a lunch with, I'll parade agents on here right now and they will tell you how horrible that is when they get those phone calls, okay? Literally, they're calling people they don't know, asking them to lunch, literally, again, white panel van, clown suit, pull up to a school. I mean, they are creeping the agents out completely, okay? They don't even know who they are. They're getting between 25 and 30 calls a day to the point where I've had some top producing agents tell me, I'm thinking about changing my phone number or taking this number and forwarding it somewhere and just getting a brand new phone. What type of, I'm sure you're seeing that. How much, you know, I know you were on a couple of weeks ago and you heard Brian Manning talk about having 10 B2Bs booked a week, 3 or 4 cancels. So he has 6. That's 6 sales activities. What's your goal? How often are you trying to be in front of your partners right now, physically?
Oh gosh, 4 days a week.
Okay. So everyone hear that, 4 days a week. Physically, very important, you people that like to sit on your phone. And all of you phone people, please stand up right now, turn around, look at your chair. If it looks like an imprint of your butt, you're doing this wrong because you're not supposed to be sitting in your chair. You're supposed to be out. Okay. So everyone, 4 days a week, and this is a very busy woman. So the old I'm too busy, wrong. The reason she's too busy is because she's doing that. Yeah. Okay, just so everyone is very clear. So 4 days a week. Kristen, what do you want to tell some people today that are the market has not turned for them? They're down in the dumps a little, and they're looking at this going, I don't know how much longer, you know, I can put money on credit cards. Or some people, Kristen, this is the first time I've really seen this in 30 plus years for me, and I've owned companies. This is the first time I've seen companies actively thin the ranks if you're below a certain production. They're like, no, gotta go. We're not going to carry your insurance. I don't want you calling IT, you know, about your laptop. You're sucking time, so you got to go. Talk about that a little bit. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really about proving right now who you. I guess I don't know another way to say it, but proving your worth to your company. Should you stay on? Should they continue to invest in you? Because at the end of the day, they are investing in us to go out and do this work, right? And I think you have to look at it like that. But I think one of the biggest concerns, and I see it in my own, you know, my 60-mile radius, if you will, the amount of egos that just won't drop their ego to go back to doing business like day one loan officers. And that's what it takes right now. So you have to take the time that you had, the relationships that you had, but you have to go back to day one. And like we said, spending time with the client, educating the real estate agents. There's a lot that's changing in our markets right now. And if they don't know, the last thing we want to do is set them up to fail with an accepted offer. And the other thing I'm seeing a lot that we're kind of doing well, I shouldn't say kind of, but we are doing is so many lenders have done close to no business in the last few months. They're still not out getting it. They're just waiting for these rates to drop so they can do a quick refi boom, but they don't know the guidelines that have changed. So we are doing more, I called it SOS. I spent all weekend doing SOS deals, save our ship deals, because the original loan officer who got the file was either non-communicative, didn't get any paperwork, still wasn't pre-qualified after 3 or 4 days. I'm like, come on, you guys aren't even busy. You still have to help these clients. So that was our weekend. Sarah, my team was on call. It's her birthday today. And we were like, it was mine last week, but we were like, you know what? It doesn't mean this is the time to take off and go celebrate, double down. We just want to make sure that these clients that deserve to be in homes are getting in homes, and their real estate agents are writing solid offers so that the homes that they're winning go through to closing. This is not at all a time to throw things at a wall and see what happens because you were too lazy to do anything and you're just sick of waiting for the refi boom to come.
That was a lot. That was a lot. I'd like to make that into a meme. You know what I mean? That was awesome. I hope everybody heard that. And Kristen, it's sort of like that movie, The Perfect Storm. So there's a lot of loan officers that didn't really, they were lacking in their skill set anyway, because they've been leaning on technology, which is okay. Yeah. But they were taking a very skinny file and handing it to an LOA, an SA, or whatever you call them in your company. And a lot of those people are no longer here. Mm-hmm. So now you're handing a skinny file into the air, or you're basically throwing it into the back of the house. What's happening is these files are getting gnarled. They're not getting done, or they're getting gnarled, and they're ending up on Kristen Ambos's desk, which, by the way, I know she looks very innocent. You don't want it there, okay? Because she's going to be in front of your agent partner in about 10 seconds, drinking wine and eating a sandwich at 100 miles an hour, and you have a big problem, okay? If she grabs one of your save deals, you're going to have a big problem. And that's just not for Kristen. There's a lot of faces on here that I know would aggressively, without starting to call people out, Pete Griffin, I know people that would be doing that at 400 miles an hour the same way, okay? Because that's what you should do. And Kristen, I'm hearing that from everyone I talk to when I'm talking to my one-on-one people every day. I'm like, what's going on? Oh, I just got 2 more saves. And I said, what do they look like? And they're like, Joel, these are totally doable deals. Yes. It's not even like I got to get their credit score up or something. They're totally doable. I can't even figure out what the loan officer did. It's not what the loan officer did. It's what the loan officer didn't do. And so I want to translate what Kristen just said a little bit. And I want to add, when she said double down, listen, if you're not fundamentally a loan officer that has closed a ton of loans, go find someone and go to school on them. I mean, use your downtime learning what you're doing, and any deal you get, man, don't let that thing get blown up. You actually have to work. This is a normal market. Kristen, I love when loan officers say to me, they're like, Joel, but like, I'm so busy. I need an assistant. And I'll start going through their volume a little bit, and they're just getting busy. And I'm like, well, you got to earn it. You got to do that 3, 4, 5 months in a row. Yeah, but Joel, I physically can. And I'm like, well, what are you doing at 4 a.m.? And they look at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, I'm literally not kidding. Work on your files at 4 a.m. I don't care. I did it. You do it. Don't. If you want to hire people in this market, you want your company to hire someone new for you in this market, you better prove it. You better throw those numbers up. And if you have to get up at 4 a.m. to work on files to throw those numbers up for 3 months, do it. So I love that message that you just said. Kristen, tell us, what time do you get up in the morning? Give us a little bit of your just go Kristen stuff. Yes. What does your day look like?
So I'm up somewhere between 5:30, like around 5:30 every day. I get ready right away, and definitely like my team and we check in with each other every morning. We write our gratitudes. We write our lists of where we want to be, to set our intentions. We check in with each other and to hold each other accountable. We've shared our successes with that. So that's huge, because if you don't start with a grateful heart and you start getting out of bed and just already being in a bad mood, that's not going to take your day anywhere. So that's really big for us. As funny as it may sound, it's all about keeping, it's the whole KISS method, keep it simple, stupid, just get your head right. As far as that part is concerned. And then we check in with each other. And I'm usually booked up probably a week or two in advance. And, but then we're also, I joke, but there's truth to it where I, that Taylor Swift song, I'm the problem, it's me. I laugh because I say I'm here nights and weekends. We are here nights and weekends. And even if there's a, 6:30 on a Saturday night where the last thing I feel like doing is getting a pre-approval going, that's what this market takes right now to win. And I also saw the other side of it, like most, where we were pretty slow between December and January. And I'd rather be working on a Saturday, helping a client out, win their house and win their deal than just sitting on a couch doing nothing, So it is just constant. If I'm not at work, I'm learning. If I'm not, watching some of your podcasts, maybe I couldn't see earlier, I'm doing Audible books to help me learn. Like I'm just all in and I can't learn enough. Because I feel like whenever our ego tells us we don't need to learn anymore and we'll just wait, that's when it gets in the way. And I think, unfortunately, that's what a lot of loan officers did early this year. The whole goal was, rates will come down Q2, Q3, and now they're realizing, oh, shoot, maybe they won't. Now what do I do? And it's already too late.
That's exactly right. And it literally, I mean, listen, it's never too late if you're really willing to run.
Yes.
But I agree with what you're saying. For a lot of loan officers, the bus has left the station. There's no, they can't jog and hop on that bus. You're going to have to do some sprints to get on that bus right now, because people like you are out in front that never stopped. And I hope you all heard this. This is someone in the business 20 plus years. And I'm not doing some commercial for having no life, by the way, because I know Kristen definitely has a life. Okay. But what she's saying is, this is a do what you gotta do market. And by the way, that's a normal market.
Yeah.
That's a real market. You people have been around a long time, like me, know that that's how it was. That's how it started. That's how it always was. Mm-hmm. And to sit around at your desk and just lock in refis or take loans at 3% 30-year fixed, that's not normal. And any of you all think that's remotely normal, you really need to dunk your head in some cold ice water, because it is not remotely normal. And people like Kristen are out there in front of you, not only out producing you, but they're going to take where some of your business is coming from as well. And they're going to take it strategically, and they're going to take it fast. Kristen, words of wisdom, everyone. Josh is going to put Kristen's email in the chat right now. Kristen is very nice and loves helping people. If you have any questions for her, it's in the chat. She is also linked to me everywhere. So if you're friends with me on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, you can back into her that way as well if you want. Kristen, any parting words for this crew? These are people that gave up 30 minutes.
Yes.
That said, I want to invest 30 minutes. A lot of these people are on with me every 2 weeks, which means they want to get better and they want to dominate. Any just little parting words, and then we'll let everybody go.
Stay positive, stay focused. For 21 years, I've been saying every single year, this market's different than the last. So it's always going to be different. We have to be willing to pivot and adapt. And as long as you can do that and keep your foot forward and staying positive, I think that's what wins.
Great message, everyone. This is a good one to go back and listen to. There was that Kristen's one little 3-minute riff there was gold as far as get off your ass and work, actually do something, which is you guys and ladies have to hear me talk about it all the time. But thank you so much for joining us, Kristen. Thank you so much for your time. We'll see everybody in 2 weeks. If you need to find Kristen, let us know. If you can't find her, thank you. Big Joel.